Hi guys, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. I'm going to go straight into this story. This story is about Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Now, please do excuse me if I call her Kate. I was around when it was Kate Middleton, Prince William's girlfriend. So please do excuse me if I call her Kate. But I do know her actual title is Catherine, the Princess of Wales. So Valentine Lowe, who I believe is a reporter for the Times, he was the one who released the story of Meghan's allegations of Meghan's bullying of staff in the palace, and that was released just before the Oprah interview. He came out with a book about the power behind the crown, and there has been some revelations coming from his book, and one is in particular about Kate, and it shows that Kate is a pretty tough cookie. She is a bad shut your mouth. So as you can see from the headline here in this article, Mail Online, it says Kate is playing the long game and is always aware that I am going to be queen one day. New revelations that the Princess of Wales was the one behind royal family's Oprah fight back statement show she is the real steely operator in the palace, a source says. So it says new revelations that Kate was the one behind the royal family's famous Oprah fight back statement show that she's the real steely operator in the palace. Details of how the late Queen approved the subtle but firm comeback to Harry and Meghan's toxic attack on the monarchy using the phrase recollections may vary. A draft statement initially did not include the famous expression and was a much milder version, though the Prince and Princess of Wales were said to have demanded it to be toughened up a bit. While Kate was right behind her husband, it was said that she was even more firm than him on the matter. When a courtier suggested the recollections may vary phrase, which was hailed as a classic iron fist in velvet glove royal manoeuvre, at least two palace officials argued against it in case it riled Harry and Meghan further. But it was Kate, then the Duchess of Cambridge, who pressed home the argument that it should remain, Mr. Lowe's book says. He quotes a source as saying it was Kate who clearly made the point, history will judge this statement, and unless this phrase or phrase like it is included, everything they have said will be taken as true. The source said this is an example of how Kate is often far steelier than she appears. She does not get as much credit as she should because she is so subtle about it. She's playing the long game. She has always got her eye on, this is my life, this is my historic path, and I'm going to be queen one day. So, first of all, Recollections May Vary was so iconic and is so iconic and will remain iconic. It is just so amazing how with language you can say so much and express so much by using fewer words, which is quite interesting really, because Meghan uses so many words and so much word salad, but very few words. Recollections may vary, and that says it all. I could not have said it better. I could not have expressed it better. Beautiful. Now, everyone always obviously thought that came from the Queen. I mean, it is the Queen's speech. It is the Queen's sort of statement, or the palace's statement. But of course, there would have been other people contributing to it. Of course, Charles would have had a say. Of course, William would have had to say. So I'm not surprised actually to hear that Kate was involved. Now, I've heard some response to this article, and I've heard people who support Meghan really slating Kate, being like, oh, she can influence the Queen, she can influence a statement from the Queen and have such massive input. That means that maybe she's not, the quiet, soft, kind, gentle person that she is, and maybe she was the one who made Meghan cry. Maybe there was friction between her and Meghan because maybe her personality is completely different, and actually she's a lot more tougher, and that was friction between her and Meghan, and maybe she made Meghan cry, and Meghan is so innocent in all this, and it was just a campaign against Meghan to portray her as like bad, and actually it's Kate. Oh, so absolute nonsense. one can still be kind and gentle and quiet and submissive in certain ways, but also be quite steely and quite strong in character. Everyone has known from the beginning that Kate is very self-assured. She's very confident. She's not insecure. She was raised in a very stable way. So she is very sure of herself and has a lot of self-esteem and is very confident. And that's quite unique, actually, I think. And so, she doesn't have a chip on her shoulder. She doesn't really have trauma. She doesn't really have issues. And this is a girl who, she has siblings. She's the eldest of the siblings. So I believe, I don't know if you agree with me, but I believe there is a thing about a sibling hierarchy. And frankly, she was the leader of the pack, right? She probably had to get her sister and her brother in check. And then obviously, since being in the royal family, she's probably had to get them in check and get her family in check. And, I don't think she's afraid to express herself. But I think what she does is she's very measured. She's very respectful. She has so much class. She has so much dignity. And so that's probably why she deals with things in a different way. And she's not this just like outrageous person. I mean, come on now. Who was the one who had bullying allegations? Was it Catherine or was it Meghan? And whose family always comes out bashing you? Is it Catherine or is it Meghan? Because a member of Catherine's family, her uncle, has come out supporting her. There is nobody from Meghan's family, apart from her mother and maybe her niece, that have come out supporting her in a Netflix documentary, their own like monetary project. There's not really been anyone else. There are ex-friends, there's ex-co-workers, there's ex-agents, there's ex-acquaintances, there's ex-managers, there's ex-family members, I say ex-family members, but family members that have all come out and said such negative stuff about Meghan. And, members of staff. I don't hear anything negative about Kate, apart from people who A, are jealous, and B, who don't know her, and C, who love Meghan. And the only other person who says negative things about Kate is Meghan. So I don't think it's as easy as saying, oh, well, look, it's revealing the true nature of her character. Therefore, what Meghan says must be true. No. Okay, no. We know that at the time of this alleged crying incident, that Catherine had just given birth or was very heavily pregnant. 3 kids, and that Meghan had called her baby brain and talked about her hormones, which she found really offensive. So she probably did bloody cry. And then we know at the same time that Meghan was under a lot of stress, stuff going on with her father, stuff going on in the press, and her obviously arranging her wedding. So she would have been under a lot of stress. So maybe she did cry. It doesn't mean that either person is like horrible and we should take one side or the other, or one person telling the truth or the other. And also, Catherine, yes, maybe she is this shy and sweet and soft person, but maybe she's just had enough. Maybe she's just had enough with this nonsense and wants to stick up for herself and wants to stick up for her husband, wants to stick up for her family. And maybe, she has learned, she's been around for a very long time, and maybe she's really trusted by people in the royal family. And maybe she is not afraid to give her views because she's been around for a long time. She's developed relationships, she's trusted, and she's very measured. So she doesn't just, argue for the sake of arguing, or put herself out there for the sake of putting out her there, and, putting her foot into places that are not necessary. She's very respectful and very dutiful and knows her place, and is very respectful of the traditions and her role. But is able to have a voice and give that voice. So, I think the criticisms of Kate are really unfair, but I think she is coming to her own. She does, take on the role of Princess of Wales, take on the role as future queen, and she knows that she's got to be strong. And I think that she was absolutely right. If this story is right, which obviously we have no idea if it's right, but if it is right, and she says, as she said here, which is Kate, who clearly made the point, history will judge this statement, and unless this phrase or a phrase like it is included, everything that they said will be taken as true. That is 100% true, and I agree with every single word, and I could not have phrased it better than she did if she had said this. If she did say this, I respect her so much because she is right. And I just couldn't have said it any better because it's true. If they didn't come out with recollections may vary, and it was simply, oh, we didn't know the magnitude of what they were going through, and they'll always be loved members of the family, and we wish them well, and blah, 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 then yeah, it does sound like everything they said was true. But the fact that recollections may vary just meant that, we're still going to be silent. We're never going to complain, never explain. But we just want to put it out there for all of you to think about it. All of you people that are drinking the Kool-Aid, all of you people that are buying into their narrative so that it just fills their purse with money. Let's just think about this for a moment. Just hold your breath and think again. Yeah, think again. So that's exactly what that statement said. So I think that's amazing. So good on you. And so author Claudia Joseph recently revealed how lines of strong, indomitable women run through both sides of Kate's family history. Well, good for you. Good for you. I think Kate, far more than Meghan, shows what it is to be a truly strong woman. Hers is a story featuring poverty, hardship in the Durham coalfields, and in the working class suburbs of London. There was also privilege too, and links to high society. The central theme, however, is one of strong matriarchal figures. Kate's mother, Carol, made sure her 3 children had the best possible start in life, and here's her mother, and I think that's Kate. She got her drive and ambition from her own mother, Dorothy Goldsmith, who's Kate's grandmother, who set her family on the road from poverty to prosperity, earning the affectionate nickname Lady Dorothy along the way. Kate's indomitable great-grandmother, Edith Goldsmith, was another tough woman who smoked 20 woodbines a day and brought up 6 children in Southall, then a working-class suburb for railway depot workers in West London. Widowed in 1938, Edith was left to bring up her 2 youngest children, Joyce and then 13, and Kate's grandfather, Ronald, then 6, in a condemned flat, juggling work at a nearby Tickler's jam factory. So can you believe that is the background of our future queen? And that is the heritage, the lineage of our future King George. Now that shows progress in the royal family. That shows modernization. Let's not get bogged down by Meghan and the fact that she was American and divorcee and biracial and, oh wow, transformation. There'd already been transformations in the royal family. So, keep it coming. So this is the Middleton family tree. So on another of the princess's great-grandmothers, Olivia Lupton, who died 45 years before Kate was born, had worked to ensure her family left behind the horrors of the First World War. Kate's second cousin, Kim Sullivan, said Prince William is a lucky man because Kate comes from a family of strong women. Hopefully, the country will benefit from her strength of character in the years to come. Indeed. What a great person to be our future queen. And then the article obviously refers to the racism allegation in the Oprah interview. It says the shock allegation triggered crisis talks in Buckingham Palace during what was a difficult time already with Prince Philip seriously ill in a hospital. Can you imagine how the Queen felt at this time? Her husband of 70 years seriously ill in hospital, and then she's now got one of the biggest crises in the royal family to deal with. I mean, seriously. Meghan told Oprah she had phoned the Queen to check his condition, as he spent almost a month in hospital while being treated for an infection. He died peacefully around a month later. Did Meghan really need to share that with Oprah on national TV? A team of courtiers had stayed up overnight on Sunday to watch Meghan and Harry's interview, which was screened on US TV in the early hours. And although senior officials locked in a conference calls had debated how to respond, with a draft statement ready by 2 p.m., the palace remained silent. An insider reveals in Mr. Lowe's book one of the reasons was the late Queen was adamant that she was going to watch the programme first. This meant waiting until it broadcast on ITV on Monday evening. I mean, couldn't anyone hook the Queen up with like a pre-release or something? I mean, come on now. And so it was on Tuesday when the serious negotiations began over the official response to Harry and Meghan, with William and Kate leading the fight back. I mean, the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of grief against William and Kate. This whole campaign of like take down William, that William's, this horrible person that's like bullied Meghan and Harry. No one bullies Meghan, okay, first of all. No one drives Meghan out, okay, first of all. And what is obviously happening at this time is that Prince Philip is dying. The Queen has other things to worry about. And Charles has other things to worry about. It's his father that is dying. And so I would imagine that that's probably why William and Kate were like, we have to fight this. We have to get the strength to fight this, because the Queen and Charles have other priorities and other things to worry about, which is far more significant for them. These are the last moments that they're going to spend with their husband and their father. And they've probably got so many arrangements. And, you saw those pictures or videos of Charles going in and out hospital visiting his dad. And so this was all going on at the same time. So I don't blame, William and Kate leading this response. They're basically taking care of business, right? This would happen in any family. So according to Mr. Lowe's book being serialized in the Times, they sat together on a sofa as they discussed with their officials how to deal with the Sussexes' incendiary allegations. Meghan also alleged that Kate had made her cry, blah, blah, blah. The Duchess of Sussex went on to say that she'd forgiven Kate. Yeah, okay. Moving on. God, it's nonsense. The row with Prince William's wife made headlines around the world after a supposed falling out over the dresses for the Flower Girls. I mean, if this is what Meghan has to offer, then okay, good for you. If this is the type of stuff that leaves you sleepless at night, then okay, good for you. And now you feel good. Now you feel at peace because you've thrown a girl under the bus, because you've spoke about a stupid argument about Flower Girls on an Oprah Winfrey show. Like, seriously, that's what you have to offer. That's the content that you have to offer people. And so obviously this then goes on to talk about the argument. It says, a source said at the time, Kate had only just given birth to her third child, Prince Louis, and was feeling quite emotional. What's funny is that it doesn't seem that Meghan was very empathetic, whereas when she was pregnant, all the tension was on her. She was just showing off that baby bump. And since then, it's this reference of I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a mother. And do you remember the South Africa interview where she was like, it's so hard being a first-time mom and like a newlywed and trying to juggle all this. And thank you for asking, because nobody's asked me if I'm okay. It's like, well, did you feel that kind of compassion and that kind of empathy? I mean, you love the word compassion. Did you feel that compassion in action? Did you feel that compassion when, Kate had just given birth? The extraordinary revelation about Kate's role in the palace's response to Harry and Meghan's interview comes as William and Harry both gave separate speeches congratulating the winners of the Diana Awards during a virtual ceremony shared on Friday. I saw those videos, and you can probably find them online, of, it's the Diana Awards, and William and Harry gave separate video set speeches. They were done virtually. First of all, what's going on with this virtual stuff? And second of all, I think it probably would have been nice if it was like a split screen and they gave their speeches together. And it could have been a split screen with, say, other people on the screen. But I don't think it should have been done separately, but okay, whatever. The Prince of Wales featured first during the 43-minute online event by praising courage, compassion, and relentless dedication shown by the young people who had been honoured. Such a shame that the Prince of Wales went first. I mean, gosh, Harry might be really upset about that and do a whole book about it. The Duke of Sussex, who is at war with his brother over the fallout from Megxit. I mean, that's a bit harshly written, isn't it? It's a bit dramatic. Appeared 20 minutes later alongside a former award winner to speak about the importance of joining together with other campaigners because no one is a conduit for change alone. Now, that word, well, that sentence that Harry said, no one is a conduit for change alone. I have never heard him say anything like that, whereas I think I've heard similar essences of this phrase, of this sentence from Meghan. And I feel like this is so Meghan. And I feel like when Harry speaks, he sounds like his wife. You know, I didn't feel like I could be my authentic self, my true self. It's just unconscious bias. Oh. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to leave it there. But all I'm going to say is I actually didn't think much about Catherine. Didn't really think much about her. Thought she was a bit plain, thought she was a bit boring, whatever. Until Meghan joined the royal family. And don't give me all that crap how I've been manipulated by the media and it's a smear campaign against Meghan and it's William and Catherine's, team or office that are trying to take down Harry and Meghan and you've fallen for it. Don't give me that nonsense because I am far more intelligent, okay, to understand that kind of crap. After Meghan joined the royal family, I have so much respect for Catherine. And I look at her so differently now. Because if you follow me, let's break it down. Let's say Meghan is telling the truth about how she felt and how she was treated within the royal family. Okay? Now, if that's the case, then wow, what Catherine had to deal with must be absolutely insane. The press intrusion was far more. Her phone was hacked, I think, over 100 times. Paparazzi chasing her down the road, cameras in her face, cameras in front of her car, taking nude pictures of her abroad and plastering them all over international magazines. I mean, what Catherine went through was horrible. Insulting her family as commoners. She's a social climber. Her uncle is a druggie. All these like weighty Katie, blah blah blah. All of this madness that Catherine had to go through. And then as a young mother within the royal family, all her duties and all her responsibilities and wanting a private life for her children, but also the balance of exposing them and on that front step, having just given birth 3 times, she's done it, like all these things that impact your mental health and that are like insane. Then obviously Meghan couldn't hack it, wanted to kill herself, left, and is now in sunny California. But Catherine still goes through it, and I'm like, damn, man, good for you. So the respect, bam, there. And then you're going to be queen. You're not even 3rd, 4th in line. You're going to be queen, bro. So your duty just never ends. So wow. Then let's take it the other way. Let's say that Meghan lied about everything, okay? Then again, so much respect for Catherine because she hasn't come out and started selling stories on the royal family, started to earn money, started to make contacts and links with all these Hollywood celebrities and elevated herself in society and used her title and used her position and her role to elevate herself. And then basically spill everyone's dirty laundry, the royal family only have people around them they can trust because they're worried about being used and exploited. And that's exactly what happened with Meghan, you know? They were probably suspicious of her because she's a lower rated actress in America from LA, a celebrity, does blogging and Instagram and all this nonsense and fashion magazines and influencing and gets sent all this free crap to wear. So they were probably like, no, 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 no. You give her the platform of royalty, she's going to exploit it. She wants to be famous, she wants to be rich, she wants to have access to the upper echelons of society, to the fashion houses, to the jewels. Do not marry this girl. So then they had all those suspicions. And then what happened? She's, on a worldwide stage, accused him of racism, accused him of, misogyny or whatever. Talks about her mental health. She wanted to kill herself. And there's no support. And then the titles and the money, the Netflix, the book, the this, the podcast, they're probably sitting back and being like, well, we tried to tell Harry, but there we are. So anyway, guys, enough respect for Catherine. So much respect for you. William could not have chosen anyone better to be his queen and to be our queen. So God bless you too. Your mother will be proud. And your mother will be very proud of Catherine. So guys, what do you think? Do you guys like Catherine? Do you not? Let me know. Okay, guys, take care. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye.